Imagine waking up one day and discovering that all your money has gone up in smoke, that your bank balance is now worth as much as a pack of expired sardines. Does that sound far-fetched? That's exactly what happened to millions of people in 2008, and it's about to happen again. Not because of your mistake, but because someone up there pulled the wrong string. This isn't a nightmare. And now, it's happening again, but in crypto. The difference? Now there's one sardine that won't slip away, and I'll show you where it hides. On one note, now the rats aren't in the banks anymore. They're in the crypto. But there's one sardine they haven't yet managed to gnaw on. And that's what I'm going to tell you about now. It was a cold, wet morning when I met John on a dirty corner in a neighborhood no longer on the map. He was a stick figure, but with eyes as heavy as lead bars, tired with dark circles from 3 mortgages and a heart drier than a bowl of dog food after the 5th business day. John had lost everything in an exchange collapse. Cryptocurrencies melted, promises broken, the account frozen. And do you know what his crime was? Trust. John told me something that scratched me inside. "Lupe, I thought I was building freedom. In the end, I just helped the rats get fat." John is the kind of human who has believed too much. He held a broken cell phone, the screen flashing the remains of his digital wallet. There was nothing. No Bitcoin, no promises, just emptiness. Just a choked meow he couldn't get out. But that's when I showed him what rats fear most: stability. Not in banks, not in promises, but in backed digital sardines. Stablecoins. Sardines that don't leave the table, even when the world is on fire. He looked at me like someone watching a delirium. I was there, Lupe, at the top, with my gold wallet gleaming under the burned-out lamppost. "Why is everything gone?" he asked. And I didn't answer with human words. I licked my paw, turned sideways, and said, "You let the rats take care of the pantry." John told his story. He got into a new cryptocurrency that promised to turn pennies into castles. Influencers meowed promises, saying it was a moon, that it was safe. He believed. He invested. The currency rose, yes, and then plummeted like a rat after a well-set mousetrap. It was a scam, a rug pull, and John was left naked, sardineless, homeless, and futureless. But there in the mud of the alley, I taught him the smell of stability. I introduced him to stablecoins, digital sardines that don't escape, that are tied to chains stronger than a safe: the dollar, the euro, gold. Stablecoins are like canned sardines. It may seem simple, but they have a fixed value tied to something real. USDT, USDC, DAI. They try to maintain the price of $1. But be careful. Not every sardine is fresh. Some smell like a hidden rat. USDT is like that famous sardine, but no one saw where it came from. USDC is audited with documents piled high. DAI is decentralized, made by kittens who like to sleep on top of contracts. Each has its own litter box.
For those who want to hunt for wealth, there's no point in chasing after moving cheese like a rat. You need to use stablecoins as a foundation to avoid getting burned when the market turns into a catfight. John understood this. He started small. He hoarded stablecoins while learning to sniff out new opportunities. Months later, John returned to being more than a sad squiggle. Using stablecoins, he avoided 2 more brutal crashes. While everyone cried foul on Twitter, he bought cheap sardines and sold them when they grew fat. Today, he's not rich, but he's alive. And in the financial world, it's rarer than a cat that takes a bath without getting scratched. If this stirred something inside you, if you felt the meow of truth in your chest, comment, "My first sardine." Share it with that friend who's always licking their credit card, and subscribe to the channel, because in this financial alley, there are plenty of rats, but only cats who know how to wait get the whole thing. But just when John thought he was safe, he made a subtle mistake. He started keeping all his sardines in the same jar, and he forgot a cat's most basic instinct, to spread its prey. That's when I gave him a loving paw on the head and said, "Diversify, pup!" Stablecoin is stability, but stability isn't immortal. A stablecoin can lose its backing. It can be frozen. It can become rat bait if the vault owner loses the key. That's what almost happened to him when the exchange he used froze withdrawals. Do you know how he saved himself? He had some of his sardines in a DeFi app, some in a cold wallet, and another part in the physical wallet that he thought was tacky. That saved the hunt. Want to live like a wealthy cat? Then listen up. Stablecoins are good for much more than storing value. You can pay bills without embarrassment, send money to another country without meowing in pain, access DeFi apps, lock in returns, and even avoid annoying banks. John started using USDC as a salary. He received it for freelance work. He paid for everything with it, and he still earned extra sardines in weekly income. No lines, no hidden fees. But he learned to use it like a smart cat, with a nose, with claws ready, and without trusting the first cute social media post, because the financial world, it's a jungle. The question burning in John's ears was, "Lupe, what if the dollar disappears? What if what gives stablecoins value goes down the drain?" I looked at him, gave him a loving bite, and said, "That's why we never bet everything in one bowl. Stablecoins are stable as long as the world is stable. But a forewarned cat prepares. He studies. He keeps part of his money in Bitcoin, part in real assets, and most importantly, he never confuses stability with eternity." Today, John has a wallet that looks like a winter larder. He has sardines, he has cheese, and he has some well-positioned mice he'll hunt in the future. And best of all, he sleeps soundly. You know why? Because he's learned to control what he can and accept what he can't. Stablecoins aren't the answer to everything, but they are a powerful part of the journey, one of the rare instruments that puts the common human in the same alley as the big cats. If you made it this far, you're no longer a lost mouse. You're a feline apprentice, and perhaps soon a wealth hunter. But to do that, you need to be ready to meow against the herd, sniff out risk, and know when to hold and when to pounce. He comments, "I'm not a mouse, I'm Lupe." Subscribe, share, and come back, because next time I meow, I'll teach you how to turn sardines into castles.